Silence is deadlier than anger. In this video, I'll show you why going quiet will break them so much harder than yelling and displaying any sign of anger ever will. And also, how you can use it as a power move. You can apply this today, or if you want my personalized help in truly mastering this, then book a free discovery call with me. The link is in the description below. Through social conditioning, through growing up, through watching movies and TV shows and so on, we get anger very wrong. We assume that we must be aggressive. We must be dominant, especially as men. The louder we shout, the broader we are, the more we threaten with violence and so on, the more furious we are as well. We'll finally get through to them. Of course, anger has a time and place. Everyone feels angry and everyone goes through it. But it doesn't ever get through to toxic people who, believe it or not, want you to be angry. So that toxic relationship you're in, that friendship, that family dynamic, they want you to lose your cool. They want you to scream and shout. Anger like that makes you lose control. Now you might be saying, but hang on a second, if I go quiet and silent, I'm docile, I'm submissive, I'm weak. Yes, you are if you continue to allow these people to walk all over you. But going silent in the way that I'm going to explain in this video is going to destroy these people. Trust me. And once again, you are not doing this to gain the upper hand and, have the power dynamic in your favor to carry on interacting with them. You're doing it to send a message and to instill boundaries in your life. And the more you practice this and master this, the easier it gets until naturally, moving forward in your life, no one will ever think twice to double cross you, abuse or disrespect you. Your anger will feed their ego, whereas silence starves it. Imagine two wolves, okay? If you get angry, you are feeding the wolf that is triggering you. Whereas if you go silent, you're starving it, okay? You are not feeding that wolf. That's what you want to do and master. Toxic people, the wrong people, difficult people, abusive people want you reactive. Your anger gives them power, energy. Have you ever noticed when you've lost your cool, and I mean really lost your cool, flown off the handle, and they sit there and they smirk and smile? It's a turn on. These people are sick. They enjoy it. But when you go silent, you take away their ability to control the narrative. And the narrative in this situation, 9 times out of 10, involves controlling you. They want you to be like a puppet. They want to basically break you. This is what you got to understand. Stop feeding the ego with anger. I know it's easier said than done. I know they're so irritating. I know they've betrayed you. I know they've pushed your buttons. I know they're the most annoying, difficult pieces of work ever. But you've got to try it this way. As a man, you must learn to hold the frame. It's easier said than done. But once you master this, you become truly elite. When they expect rage, for you to shout, for you to be triggered, for you to swear, to fly your arms around, to storm out of the house, when they expect you to lose control, give them calm indifference, because they're not going to know how to handle it. 9 times out of 10, when you're in this dynamic with these people, and it doesn't have to apply to toxic people, this would be people in general. What normally happens? You spiral, they spiral, and typically it gets out of control. What was a calm, normal environment has now exploded into a drama-filled hellhole of your own creation. Well, I didn't start it, that's true. But all you did was add fuel to the fire. You were feeding that wolf. You don't feed the wolf, it starves. That's what you got to learn here. But, I need to be an alpha male. I need to stand my ground. The calm indifference is you standing your ground. You're not standing your ground and being walked all over. You are not reacting. Remember, imagine them smirking at you, smiling, getting turned on. This applies to men as well. Because you are losing control. Because you're getting angry. Deprive them of that. Next, silence will make them question everything. Now, toxic, difficult, wrong people are not very self-aware. And also, they're not very intelligent, especially emotionally. That's why anger feeds anger. When two people are arguing and shouting, even if you're right and they're in the wrong, if I was to observe you from a distance, you both look like idiots. You're both angry. You're both losing control. But when you stop talking, responding, when you stop reacting, they will, and I guarantee you this, start spiraling inside their own mind. Now, externally, they might have their own frame. They might keep it together in that sense. They might be hurling abuse and triggered and being reactive back, which is unacceptable. But in their mind, once the silence is given to them by you, it all starts going wrong for them. They'll have an internal dialogue, especially if they're toxic, because they've got a very fragile ego. They're incredibly insecure and they're very mentally weak. They'll say to themselves on repeat, on overdrive, did I mess up? Have I screwed this up? What's he thinking? What's he going to do next? Why is he not reacting? Why is he not giving me attention? Doesn't he care about this? Maybe there's somebody else. Maybe he's going to leave. Maybe they don't care about me at all. Maybe they don't love me. Maybe they don't want to work with me. They don't want to live with me. My God, am I really terrible? Am I such a bad person? I know that sounds crazy, but narcissists think that all the time. Hence why they've got to put on this act and facade, and they're so difficult. But that goes into overdrive in your silence towards them. It'll make them question their own sanity, their lives, their choices, and they will spiral like crazy. Anger won't make them spiral. They'll laugh at you, they'll point a finger. Whatever you say, they'll say it worse. You'll be like two children or two siblings squabbling. It gets you nowhere, it drains your energy, wastes your time and life along the way. Whereas by simply quietening, not speaking, they mentally and emotionally crumble. It breaks them. Stay calm. Stay quiet in a high stress situation. I know that's not easy, but you've been conditioned and raised and gaslighted by the media and so on to believe that you need to be this way, especially if you've been a people pleaser all your life and you've had enough. Let the silence force them to deal with their own fragile ego, pathetic life choices, personality, the lack of personal development, and more. When the heat is on, it's like a hairdryer blown in your face. It hurts, it burns, it's scalding. But if you stand tall like a mountain that won't crumble, if you take deep breaths and not take what they say personally, because that's what they're going to do, They're going to hit you where it hurts, get personal, get nasty, vindictive. You become an incredibly powerful person. And lastly, this point might be the most pivotal of them all. Silence signals you've outgrown the drama. Now, these people love the drama, the chaos. They have so much work to do on themselves. They are so immature, and they could even be older than you. And this doesn't apply to just relationships. It could be friends and family. But you've reached the stage in your life, a moment so pivotal that you don't want to deal with it anymore. You've outgrown it. When you were a bit immature, when you didn't know what you were doing, the shouting and the yelling made sense. Now it doesn't. Silence by you, controlled silence, means you're above the chaos, drama, immaturity and nonsense. You're above the emotional games, the gaslighting, the manipulation. And you've become a version of yourself that you never knew was possible. The silence communicates incredible confidence in yourself, self-worth, self-respect, power, dominance and assertion, but also self-mastery and control. Anger and yelling in these situations is like taking the pin out of a grenade and exploding. You shatter to pieces and you regret it and you're drained afterwards. But that self-mastery is the ability to look at yourself and look back on yourself and say, did I really do that? Was that really me? Yeah, it was. And that's also what you're capable of. And when you're able to have that level of self-control, just imagine the possibilities and opportunities that await you moving forward. Make silence your default when disrespected. You're not a pushover. You're just giving them the silent treatment. Not to manipulate them to change or treat you better. You're like, yeah, I don't need this. And I'm not even going to engage. This is below me. This is not worth my time. And then walk away quietly. And let your actions speak louder than words ever could. Don't slam the door behind you, make a scene and act like you're in a soap opera. Make silence your default when disrespected. You don't deserve it. They've crossed the line. You'll never be good enough for the wrong person. But also you're above this now. There was a time and a place where it suited you. Maybe you grew up in a household where you saw it. Maybe you watch drama on TV. Maybe your favorite characters engage in these stupid disagreements and squabbles, but not you anymore. Anger feeds their ego. Starve that anger with silence. Make them question everything, not to manipulate, so that they can spiral mentally with a lack of sleep and have the anxiety on their end for once. And outgrow the drama and master yourself. The person you will be once you do this, I kid you not, will be unrecognizable. And the life you'll live moving forward by mastering this will be more peaceful, prosperous, and happy. And not to mention healthy as well. Master silence and you'll control any room, dynamic, conflict, person, and situation moving forward. Apply this today, or if you truly want my help mastering emotional control and discipline, then please book a free discovery call with me. The link is in the description below. Silence and walking away are your greatest weapons. Use them always, especially over anger.